And hello once again. It is just past midnight in Paris, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West, and we are live right here on the C&C Talks YouTube channel. This is C&C Live after day 8 of the Olympics, day 11 of our live streams as we started on day -2, and another a day of incredible action in the Olympics. 29 gold medals were handed out today, 29 of them, and
Wow.
there was some incredible drama in swimming, in track and field. We had a bunch of track and field medals. We're also kind of starting to near the end of the swimming competition. Some incredible drama in judo today. It was a phenomenal day, and I say that only speaking on what happened after, about 6:30 a.m. because I won't lie, I was at the Mariners game last night and didn't quite go to bed early, so didn't exactly wake up early either, but still caught up on some of that early morning Olympic action. But still, the action, I'm still just in awe of everything I watched in the last 5 or so hours. Just some incredible action at the Olympics today. Zach, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was able to watch some of the track and field today. One of my favorite Olympic events is the 100-meter dash, and that was really crazy to watch today. There were some serious upsets.
Yep.
And yeah, unfortunately, that was all I got to today. But I'm happy I saw that.
I mean, if you pick an event to watch, it's a pretty good event to watch.
Yeah.
Arguably the single most exciting event in the Olympics. I think it's time that, because you can see, no Charlie today. We believe, currently on an airplane.
Yeah.
I think that it is. I think that we should start playing a game called Where is Charlie? I'm going to assume. Well, we'll put this, if he's not here tomorrow, I'm going to assume that his flight was on American Airlines because it probably won't have left by then. Even still, I am. For those who don't know, I believe I did mention this on an episode of the podcast. For those who do not know the backstory here, I was on an American Airlines flight last month, and it didn't go very well. So I'm still mad at them.
It's okay. He'll just walk if he can't get a plane.
Yeah, he might, and somehow he'd probably actually beat an American Airlines plane here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not convinced that they have more than one actual plane, or at least more than one functioning one.
Yeah.
Considered walking back from DC in June.
Yeah, no, that
They
would have
eventually
been.
switched me to a different airline because that's the only way I was going to be able to actually get here.
Well, I guess good thing you didn't have to try and fly American again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. The speed of American Airlines flights is apparently not representative of the speed of Americans in the 100-meter dash, though. At least on
no.
the side.
Specifically, on the men's 100, we saw some really great U.S. dominance.
Did Noah Lyles win his heat today?
I want to say no, he didn't. Yeah, I saw his heat. He did not win his heat. I think he ran a 10. Don't quote me. It was a 10.01, I think, and the person who beat him in his heat ran a 9.98.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. But what I did
I would have been worried if I saw he ran like a really good time for him, but somebody else was faster. But that's not what happens. Noah Lyles, we know can and probably will run faster. It's the prelims. You don't have to give it everything you got.
Yeah, I did also hear from the reporters who were talking that apparently he wasn't expecting to run this hard in his heat. He sort of the first 50 meters, and you could see this. He started out sort of slower, kind of just taking his time. I think he was assuming this would have been a little bit easier than it actually was. And then you could see right around maybe the 50-meter mark when he was actually in third place in his heat. At that point, he was like, "Oh crap, I better speed up," and he was able to get second. But he was a little bit surprised by the speed, it sounds like.
So if you look at it, we did have two Americans finish with the top two times in the heat. So it's not just Noah Lyles. The top two times, Kenneth Bednarek, I don't know how to say that name, and Fred Curley, both with times of 9.97. So really, really good times for them.
Good.
Yeah. So Noah Lyles, his personal best, it looks like, is a 9.81. If the top time, like I get that it's the prelims and people aren't like the top runners aren't necessarily running their fastest, but if the top time in the prelim was a 9.97, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. The person who beat him in his heat was I'm looking for the first name. Bear with me.
I'm gonna get it faster. It was Louis Hinchliff.
What?
Louis Hinchliff.
Yeah, Louis Hinchliff. Yeah, who ran a 9.98.
Yeah, pretty good time.
Yeah, it's good.
He only had to finish in the top like 3 in his heat, I think.
Right.
So we end up.
Yeah.
We end up with. Unless I'm mistaken, we have. No, it's more than I thought. Oh God, there's a lot of. There's 27 semifinalists.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a lot. That'll take place, unless I'm mistaken, tomorrow. The men's 100, both the semifinals and the finals are tomorrow. Just like how in the women's 100 meter, it was like that today, both the semis and the final. Which, speaking of that race, Sha'Carri Richardson obviously ran it. Did not win, Zach.
No, she got silver though.
She did get silver. Still really, really impressive time
Really
from her. 10.87. And by the way, not the only American to make the podium there. Melissa Jefferson of the U.S. got bronze too.
Yeah. Although
and the third American finished in 5th.
Oh, well, yeah, that's still really good. It's so far for sprinting, Americans have done very well.
So Julian Alfred ends up winning that race. She's from St. Lucia. This is the first.
They were saying before the race that it was very possible that she was going to be somebody to win, and to very much watch her during the race. She was definitely a favorite from before the race as well. So it wasn't it wasn't a complete.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about that though. That is the first ever medal won by St. Lucia at the Olympics.
That's wow.
First ever, and it's not just a gold medal. It's a gold medal in a premier event at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, she has the title of essentially world's fastest woman. It's an island nation of less than 200,000 people.
Yeah.
First world's fastest woman, first Olympic medalist from that island. It's an Olympic gold in one of the top events in the Olympics. She's got to now be one of the most famous people in that country.
Yeah, and if you watch the race, she just looked extremely comfortable. Like,
yes,
I would say that Sha'Carri Richardson was beaten pretty comfortably. Like it wasn't like, the smallest fraction of a second that
Well, I mean,
separated.
it was a
It
very small
was,
fraction of a second, like all 100-meter
but
races.
when I talk about fraction of a second in 100, I'm talking about like, I don't know.
You're talking about like a fraction of a tenth of a second.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, fraction of a tenth of a second. But yeah, I think, and if I want to say that was her first Olympics.
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's definitely
so,
Sha'Carri Richardson's first Olympics. She qualified for Tokyo, but then was disqualified after a positive marijuana test.
oh yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember that. I
the
forgot about
story.
that.
She's been dominating recently now, a silver medal, which, don't get me wrong, like it would have been great to see her get the gold, but it's still a huge step for the United States. Or sorry, for her and the United States.
And you know what? Good for St. Lucia. That's incredible.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then not the only nation to get their first Olympic medal today. The women's triple jump, Thea Lafond of Dominica won the gold medal, which was also the first ever medal for that island. Less of a premier event, but still a big win for her and for that country. Jasmine Moore, the American, gets the bronze medal in the women's triple jump, and Shanika Ricketts gets the silver. And, if I'm mistaken, I believe, yeah, 4 of the 5 track and field finals today had an American finalist. Had an American podium. And I think what's interesting, looking at really these Olympics in general, not just in track and field so far, definitely a great example of this is in swimming also. Feels like the year of the silver for the United States.
Yeah.
The year of almost getting the gold. Don't get me wrong, silver's still great, and they've gotten a lot of them. But look, we're 142 events into these Olympics, or 142 events have finished. They've had a medal awarded.
Right.
That means there's still, I believe, 185 left. No, 187 left. Excuse me, which is still, a lot. But the U.S. 61 medals so far. That I think puts them at a higher pace than they were in 2020 in the Tokyo Olympics by, I think, a considerable amount. However, of course, it's not apples to apples because there's events that the countries are strong in and weak in, and I don't know exactly the order or whether they're overperforming or underperforming medal projections. I haven't looked at those numbers yet,
Yeah.
but 61 medals is great. It's 20 more than the second highest. That's
Yeah.
France with 41.
And by the way, France has a lot to cheer for. We've been saying that this whole
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah, we'll get
that's
to that more too.
yeah.
But if you look at this, only 14 of those medals are gold. That's less than
Yeah.
less than a quarter of their medals for the United States have been gold, and in some
Well,
cases,
yeah.
significant underperformances. Here's another track and field example. Today was the mixed 4x400 meter relay. 2 legs run by a man, 2 legs run by a woman, and this is a relatively new event. But yesterday, in the prelims, we saw the United States run this, and they set a world record by like a second.
Wow.
It's a huge, huge win for the United States in the prelims.
Yeah.
And then today in the finals, they got chased down. They led for almost the entire thing until the last 100 meters when Netherlands, their final runner, just ran an incredible 400 and ran down the U.S. Ended up actually winning somewhat comfortably. Well, so again, comfortably for an event like this by over 0.3 of a second. I just just an incredible relay. Femke Bol of the Netherlands, that final leg for them, a woman running a 47.93 split. Just an incredible split compared to the US's 49.14 split in that final leg, and it's just another example. US coming up just short on the podium. Great Britain got the bronze there, but that's really, I feel like, what just what these Olympics feel like, the Olympics of silver for the US.
Yeah, and that's really rough. Although I do think it's worth mentioning that that is true, but the U.S. is still second for gold, and it's
Yes.
only 2. So
I mean,
there's still
yeah, no,
there's
you're right.
still a chance, a very much non-zero chance that that the U.S. could win gold, win for number of golds and number of medals overall.
I think
It's
that at this point, there's no doubt that they'll win for number of medals
yes.
overall.
I
They're
mean,
again ahead by 20 in that category.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It would be kind of incredible if another country was able to make up a 20 medal lead, and
Well,
that
and
would
I
be
expect that lead to grow too.
yeah, exactly.
So, um, let's see. Let's go from track and field to the other real premier events from today, which those is swimming. And in the pool, there were some golds for the U.S. today. There were some underperformances too, but there were some golds. Let's start. Let's see, Zach. Do you want to start on a positive note or a negative note?
Let's 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 end with the positive. So let's start.
Okay, we'll start with the whole negative side. Men's 100-meter butterfly. This was the race that Caleb Dressel won and holds the world record for in the Tokyo Olympics. He didn't qualify for the finals this year.
Oh,
First time in
no.
the history of the event that the Americans have not had somebody qualify for the finals of this event.
Wow.
Instead, it was the Hungarian Christoph Milak who won the race, won gold. You may remember he was chased down by Leon Marchand of France in a race a few days ago, badly in the final stretch of it. He redeems himself here with the gold medal, and then Canada 2 threes on this: Josh Liendo and Ilya Karun. And then in the women's 200-meter individual medley, there's another bad news for the U.S. I almost said Canada. Canada, Canada's Summer McIntosh won another race. Just an incredible Olympics for this 17-year-old. A silver and 3 golds for her, and I guess it was expected that she won gold, but it was close. It was still feels like a race that Kate Douglas, the American, maybe could have won it, but she got the silver. Like a lot of Americans have. But then what was really rough about this, Alex Walsh for the U.S. came in third, got the bronze, except she had an illegal turn from the backstroke to the breaststroke, got a disqualification, and an Australian, Kaylee McKeown, wins the bronze here, and especially given the U.S. Australia swimming rivalry, there's an opportunity for the U.S. to get a medal. Instead, that medal goes to Australia when they could have kept Australia off the board and added 1 to their count.
Oh wow.
So bad there. Now, in terms of the good news, the mixed 4x100-meter medley relay, the U.S. won that. Just an incredibly raced relay for the United States. Australia came in third, but especially by the 2 women that were at the end for the United States, Gretchen Walsh and Tori Husk. It's an incredible job by both of them for Gretchen Walsh to really grab the lead, and then Tori Husk, man, she held on to it, and it was close. China lost that race by 12 hundredths of a second. But
Wow.
big credit to her for holding on, and then of course to the 2 men on the team, Ryan Murphy and Nick Fink, for also playing their role. But really, it was the women on this team that did a huge job, and really, it was a historic day for American women. We talked about Sha'Carri Richardson getting silver in the women's 100.
Yeah.
Another person who made history today, Katie Ledecky, won the women's 800-meter freestyle again over Ariane Titmus. It was
Was there
close. It
any?
was maybe closer than some people expected. This is her 4th straight Olympics winning this gold medal.
I
4th
mean,
straight. She
last
is I believe, the only woman, any sport, ever to win an event at the Olympics 4 times.
wow. I mean, last time I was on here, I think we were talking about how she is just, I mean, it's not even close between her and the rest of the competition. She is probably going to be, by the end of this Olympics, considered the best women's swimmer in history.
I mean, she is. I would say she is, because I think you weren't on the stream yesterday, but we discussed how she set the record. I think this was yesterday. This might have been 2 days ago. She set the record for the most medals by an American woman with 13. Now she has a 14th. It's probably she just raced in all likelihood her last ever Olympic event. We'll see, but I mean, she's dominant in the 1500, right? She holds the top 20 times all time in that event.
Yeah.
So, like, she's dominant there, but she's really good at other events too. She's won the 400-meter gold before. She's been part of relays that have won the 200, that have won the 4x200. And then, of course, the 800. She's now won 4 times in a row. Just absolutely nobody like her.
And how many of those 14 medals are golds?
9.
Wow, that's just incredible.
Yeah. Then the other another great example of American women doing great things today.
Yeah.
Let's go to gymnastics. And if I say gymnastics and American women, Zach, who do you think I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's really hard to tell, Colin. I'm not sure. That one's gonna take me a while. Oh, maybe Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles winning the gold in the women's vault final over Rebecca Andrade, who got silver, and then another American, Jade Carey, who got the bronze. So, I mean, this is 3 gold medals for Simone Biles in these Olympics already. She has a chance at 2 more.
Wow.
Just,
And how many for the U.S. team?
the U.S. team, gold medals, 3, and total medals, 5. Again, they have a chance at 5 more over the next 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a genuine chance at winning 5 more medals over the next 2 days in women's gymnastics. There's I won't say it's a good chance, but there is a non-zero chance that of the 18 medals that can be had in women's gymnastics, that the United States wins 10 of them.
That's
Not 18 gold medals, 18 total medals, gold, silver, and bronze combined.
wow.
Non-zero chance that the U.S. wins 10 of them.
Wow. Wow. And is that including and how many golds do you think?
That could include up to 6 golds. They already have the first 3. We'll see what happens next in that.
So far they've won all the golds. Can they continue?
Yes, all of them.
Now the question is, can they continue? And the answer, I'm hoping, and I don't really think I have to hope very much, is going to be yes.
I'm not sure on that. I would say Simone Biles will definitely get the gold on the floor routine.
Yeah.
And on the balance beam, I would say she's a contender for it, as is Suni Lee. And I think that there's a good chance they both end up on the podium, but I'm not 100% sure that they'll get gold. And then I'm not at all convinced that Suni Lee will get gold on the uneven bars tomorrow. We'll see, but there's a non-zero chance.
Wow. And that's more than you can say for pretty much any other Olympics.
Pretty much.
For one single team.
Yeah. I mean, again, the gold standard, figuratively and literally, for women's gymnastics is the final 5 in 2016. That Olympics team won 4 golds. Team all-around vault and floor exercise, as well as silvers in the all-around uneven bars, floor and beam, and bronze on the beam. And that's great, but this team could win 6 golds possibly and 10 medals overall. So that would be slightly better than that historically good team.
Yeah. Wow.
Again, they still have to go out and do it, but I'm not betting against them.
It's possible. Yeah. It's very, very possible.
Yeah. In men's gymnastics today, we had the floor exercise final and the pommel horse final. In the floor exercise final, the Philippines is Carlos Drialulo won gold with Artem Dolo. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Someone from Israel winning silver, and Jake Jarman from Great Britain winning the bronze. And on the pommel horse, there's a reason that the U.S. put Steven Nedorosik on this Olympic team, and that was because he's very good at the pommel horse. Not a gold, but his second bronze of these Olympics, behind the silver medalist from Kazakhstan, Nariman Kurbanov, and Rhys McClanahan from Ireland winning the gold on the pommel horse. That does it for U.S. men's gymnastics. No more U.S. men left to compete.
Overall, are the U.S. men still sort of not doing great? I mean, I know
they're doing, in terms of medal count, they're doing at worst what I expected them to do, and arguably better. I'm not even entirely sure what I expected of them heading into the Olympics, but there's still leaps and bounds, well, literally leaps and bounds behind the women.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody is, so.
It's so fun to watch, man. It really is.
It is.
It's such an enjoyable team. They're so good.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch more of their routines later.
Yeah. Zach, you want to know someone else that's really just very good at their sport in terms of a specific country?
Who?
Korea in archery.
Yep. Yeah.
So they would won the men's team event, women's team event, and mixed team event. Now it was time for the women's individual event, and they got gold and silver and fourth place.
Oh wow, yeah. Korea.
Soo-hyun Lim wins the gold. Soo-hyun Nam wins the silver for Korea. Hyun-young Jeon almost won the bronze. Got very close to a podium sweep there. Instead, it's Lisa Barberlin of France. There's, again, no chance I pronounced any of those names correctly. Winning the bronze there. But this seems to be Korea's sport.
Yeah. I really do wonder what would make you think that.
4 golds already out of 4. 1 event left, the men's individual, which will conclude tomorrow. And I mean, I'm not going to bet against them in that either. I should have maybe checked before I said that if they had anyone competing. But yeah, oh no, they do. They have 3 guys left in it.
Wow. Is this? Do you know if this is normally something they're good at? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at the 2020 Paris Olympics. In that they got 4 golds that year. The other gold went to Turkey. That it was the men's individual that Turkey won the gold in. So South Korea's hardly overperformed what they did in 2020 yet. They could tomorrow. We'll see. Back in 2016, South Korea also got 4 golds and a bronze.
Wow.
And there wasn't even a mixed team event there. There were only 4 events. So let's go back one more year, 2012, 3 golds and a bronze. So yeah, I'd say that they're pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I guess this is just South Korea's thing is anything related to shooting. They also do well in the air rifle as well, right?
Yes. Now, speaking of shooting, let's go there. 2 more medals won today, and a Korean won the gold in the 25-meter pistol shooting for women. Jin Yang winning the gold there. Camille, you know what? The French lady, I'm not going to pronounce her name because it's spelled. She won the silver. Her last name is spelled Jedrzejewski, and I didn't know it was possible to have that many odd letters in your name, but okay.
I'm guessing that's not French though. It doesn't.
It really doesn't sound French, does it?
Yeah. No. I had to guess, it's probably an Eastern European last name, but
Yes. And then
Um,
Veronica Major from Hungary won the bronze. However, big news, this just in, United States gets medals in shooting.
wow.
It wasn't the
Really?
first. Yesterday they got one in the women's rifle competition, but now in this one, in the men's skeet final,
What is that?
Americans go 1 and 2. Vincent Hancock wins gold. Connor Lynn Prince wins silver, and then someone from Chinese Taipei winning the bronze there. But hey, we found the Americans who know how to shoot. I think. By the way, I just think it's absolutely amazing that Americans are so bad with guns.
Yeah. We like them, but we don't want to learn how to use them, apparently.
I mean, it makes sense if you look at all of the opposition to politically to mandatory gun trainings,
Yeah.
and the fact that toddlers shoot their parents all the time because their parents left a gun where their toddler could get to it.
Yeah.
So uh, on that dark note, Zach, where do you want to go to next?
Should we go to? Let's see.
By the way, we've talked about, I believe, 15 of the 29 medal events so far today.
Should we talk about?
Let's talk about rowing. I'm taking the decision out of your hands.
Okay, that's good because I was in the process of looking up the events because I wasn't sure.
Okay. Final rowing events of the Olympics today: the men's and women's singles sculls and the men's and women's 8, which Zach, Americans have a history of winning in the men's 8, dating back to 1936 at least.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get gold today. They also, weren't racing against Hitler's army, but
I mean, so you're saying the stakes weren't quite as high?
No, they were racing against the British instead.
Oh.
Gold for Great Britain, bronze for the US. Netherlands sneaks in there with silver. In the women's, though, Romania the gold, Canada the silver, and Great Britain the bronze. In the single sculls, it's Germany with the gold and neutral athlete, one of those from Russia or Belarus with the silver, Netherlands the bronze, and in the women's, Netherlands, New Zealand, and Lithuania is how the podium shakes out for that. Lithuania getting in what I believe is their one and only medal so far in these Olympics, and quite possibly will be their one and only medal.
Really, Lithuania?
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have been. I mean, they aren't like a small island country. They're pretty sizable.
Yeah, but sports have never been their strong suit.
Oh, interesting. I'm seeing that there was handball today, and there was also soccer, or as we should call it, football.
Yeah, let's talk about handball quickly. We now, in women's handball, we have a bracket. We have a bracket for the knockout stage, which will start on what day will that be? Tuesday. It goes quickly. Quarterfinals Tuesday, semifinals Thursday, gold medal match and bronze medal match on Saturday. But our bracket: Norway versus Brazil, Denmark versus the Netherlands, Hungary versus Sweden, and then France, the top seed on the women's side, will play Germany.
Oh, wow.
Good looking bracket there. Now, as for that bracket that you mentioned in football, the semifinals are now set after a wild day of competition today.
Wow, I'm seeing the women's quarterfinal. Final score: France, Brazil, 0-1.
Yeah, 1-0 in favor of Brazil. Sorry, France. Better luck next time when you have to do it in our country instead. But that was the only game of these quarterfinals on the women's side that did not go to extra time.
Wow.
All the others went to extra time. 2 of them went to penalty kicks. Germany defeated Canada in penalty kicks. Just a second.
technical difficulties. I'm sure Colin is fixing that now. Wow, though, that is insane. These sound like very close matches. I didn't see them, of course, but I'm sure Colin will.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying these sound like very close matches, like incredible games. And
Yes.
I was about to say, and you can tell
What
us
happens
more.
when you forget to turn on Do Not Disturb before you go live? That's been fixed.
Yeah.
And anyway, no, yeah, Germany won a penalty shootout with Canada. It was a rough shootout for the Canadians. Spain, a big comeback, equalizer in stoppage time, end up beating Colombia in penalties. And then the US, Japan, 0-0, somewhat disappointing for the US. They looked like the better team going into extra time. Did not go to penalty kicks thanks to a brilliant, brilliant goal by Trinity Rodman in extra time. One of the greatest goals I've seen on the women's side. Really, really impressive. I wish that we could show the clip on this podcast, but unfortunately we cannot.
We learned that lesson the hard way earlier in these live streams. Yeah, but maybe could be possible to provide the links maybe in the description afterwards.
Yeah. Just incredible goal by her in extra time. All right, let's get back to some of the medals that were handed out today. The men's road cycling race. This is always a fun one because there's, how should I put it? It's a long race, as in over 6 hours.
Wow.
6 hours of cycling leads to the same person that won the men's time trial. So winning the gold in both the time trial and the road race is Remco Evenepoel of Belgium. France goes 2-3 here. Home crowds probably like that. And yeah, like you were saying earlier, Zach, the French have done very, very well so far in these Olympics.
Yes. Yeah.
2-3, Valentina Madaras and Christopher Laporte. There's probably a French way to say those names, but again, I don't speak French. So there's a medal there. I believe we've talked about 20 of them so far, which means it's time to go find the other ones. Yes. Let's talk badminton. Medal handed out there. And to, I would say, the surprise of nobody probably, China wins its second gold in badminton. Also won the silver here. Japan wins the bronze. First medals also handed out today in table tennis.
Wow.
And we had, again, China winning gold and silver, Japan winning bronze. This is women's singles in table tennis. Now, in the actual tennis, we did see the U.S. get some medals here, the only medals that they're going to get in tennis in these Olympics, and it was, again, a silver and a bronze, and in disappointing fashion, too. Taylor Fritz and Tommy Paul, they lost in the semifinals yesterday, that duo in men's doubles. They got the bronze. But then the other U.S. duo, Krejcik and Rahm, won the silver, but they were up a set, then lost a tiebreak in the second set to go even, and then lost a match tiebreak 10-8 to lose the final there. Rough for them. In women's singles, we had that final too. Kunlin Zhang from China won the gold. Somewhat surprising going in that she was able to pull this off. Definitely nowhere near a favorite. But gold for her. Donna Vekic, who went far in Wimbledon, has done really well recently, winning the silver. And then Iga Swiatek, who was the overwhelming favorite going in, she ends up getting the bronze here, as we discussed yesterday with that bronze, when that bronze medal match took place. Let's see, just a few more gold medal finals today. There was one in fencing. This one the U.S. did not do very well in. It was, let's see, who was it? That would be a great thing for me to figure out. Japan beat France for the bronze medal. Ukraine got the gold here over Korea. something of a surprise that they were able to get that in the women's team saber event. Another place today where there was a medal. So I'm sorry if you fall asleep while listening to this. The dressage.
I already knew when you said when you mentioned falling asleep.
Yeah. Team dressage, Germany the gold, Denmark the silver, Great Britain the bronze. Now, there was a place today where there was incredible drama. That was in judo.
Really?
The final judo event, the mixed team event in Korea won one of the bronzes, Brazil won the other, but then the final was between Japan and France. And how this works in mixed team judo is that there's essentially 6 different weight categories, three of them men and 3 of them women. And Japan was up early; they were up 3-1. So essentially, there's matches between people in each of those weight categories, and whoever wins the most of them, you have to win 4 of those categories. Then then you win the match essentially. And
Okay.
Japan was up 3-1 early. France gets back into it. They a couple of golden score so that they won to make it 3-3. And then what they do after that is they go into a golden score, but they randomly choose which weight class gets to compete for that final spot. Which seems like a weird way to decide a medal, but it's randomly, completely randomly chosen by spinning a wheel. And for France, it lands on Teddy Riner, their 4-time judo gold medalist.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
That's who they had able to go for them.
So they were happy.
Sheer random luck. He ends up winning the gold for France.
Yeah. So they were very happy going into this match, I'm guessing.
Yes, incredible, just incredible drama.
Yeah. Wow. I thought you were. Didn't you mention that Azerbaijan was doing very well in judo in some of the previous days?
Let's take a look at how Azerbaijan.
I thought you said they have medaled or.
Yeah, they have a pair of golds in this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they participate in the mixed judo?
In mixed judo, definitely not the finals. They did. I think they did have a team. Sorry, no, they did not have a team.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I'd be surprised that a country that got 2 golds or at least.
Yeah, but you need a full team, though, is the thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe you have 2 great judo athletes, and that's it.
Yeah, but if they were participating, I would have thought that they would have done well.
Well, yeah, possibly. Let's see. I think I'm missing a medal somewhere, so I'm gonna go take a look at that.
I'm also looking.
Sailing. We're missing medals in sailing.
Have we talked about boxing? Because
no medals today, though, or no golds today.
Oh, no golds.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about boxing once we have a complete medal table there. But there's the windsurf today, which is always a fun event. It's essentially what it sounds like. You're standing on the surfboard, but that surfboard also has a mast coming up from it that has a sail.
It looks fun, I have to say.
It looks really fun. I desperately want to do it. It looks awesome.
Yeah. And is this in French Polynesia as well? Tahiti?
No, this is in France.
Is this in the Seine?
No.
Okay. Where is this?
I off the coast somewhere, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know French geography. This is why we should have Charlie on.
Yes. But he's probably, getting delayed by American Airlines.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie, we're praying for you. Now Emma Wilson for Great Britain with the bronze, Maghetti for Italy with the gold, Sharon Cantor with the silver for Israel in the women's. In the men's windsurf, Israel wins the gold here. So Israel's been doing pretty well for themselves over the last couple of days. Australia, the silver, Netherlands, the bronze medal here. I think that does it for medals, but we do have a couple more brackets set. The brackets are set as for the competition to continue in beach volleyball. If you hear loud noises over my head, it's the Blue Angels practicing again.
Yeah, I was about to say earlier, I'm hoping you didn't hear, there was a really close flyby.
Oh, no, I didn't hear. No, brackets, though, set in beach volleyball. All of the American pairs making it through in both men's and the women's. On the men's side, they are on opposite sides of the bracket, so they cannot meet until the finals. On the women's side, they could meet in the semifinals, and they're arguably the two biggest favorites, so they won't go gold and silver, but they could absolutely get the gold and the bronze. And
Right.
Zach, you may be happy to know that in 3v3 basketball, the U.S. women's team redeemed themselves.
Okay.
Started 0-3. They won their final 4 group stage games, and then they won the play-in game. They are into the semifinals.
Wow. Okay. So they were 1-3, and now they're in the.
They were 0-3, and now they're in the semifinals.
0-3. Oh, I thought they were 1-3.
They were then 1-3.
They were right. They were 0-3 at one point. And on the other hand, the men's team.
Do we have to talk about the men's team? Who says we have to talk about the men's team?
Did they play today?
No, they play tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about.
Zach, why would I want to talk about them?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a painful thing to talk about.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we have the medals for those coming up in just 2 games. The knockout stage is going to go very, very quickly in 3v3 basketball. In actual basketball, or 5v5, because 3v3 is, well, sort of basketball. We also have our brackets set there, and as the U.S. wins their final game against Puerto Rico by over 20 points, a great game for Anthony Edwards, among others. But bracket is set, and the U.S. is getting pretty lucky here. They don't have to face any of France, Germany, or Canada until the finals. They avoided all of them until the finals.
That's very lucky.
They get to beat up on each other. The U.S. gets to beat up on Brazil, and then the winner of Serbia, Australia.
So basically, if nothing catastrophic happens, they have a free ticket to the finals, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Brazil or Serbia and Australia aren't good, but they're absolutely beatable for the U.S.
Yeah.
Teams like Canada, France, and Germany, that might be a bit more of a struggle for them.
But still probably very beatable. I mean, considering...
yeah, we've talked about this. They should win every game that they play. Doesn't mean that they will.
Yeah, and especially with the interesting coaching, which you did say was a little more encouraging.
It's getting better. The coaching's getting better.
That's good.
I mean, what's funny about it, though, is that some of the teams in the Olympics, take South Sudan, for example,
right,
have coaches, like their head coach is an NBA assistant coach. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Whereas for the U.S. team, all of their assistant coaches are NBA head coaches.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big difference, is what I'm trying to say.
And I guess at one point you could maybe say, correct me if I'm wrong, that our head coach was the best coach in the league, at least a couple points.
I would argue that that the U.S. team has their head coach is probably a top 5 coach in the NBA. Their 2 of their other assistants have won NBA championships before as NBA head coaches, and one of them I consider to be the best coach in the NBA right now, in Eric Spoelstra. And then their other assistant coach is Mark Few, who I would argue is a top 5 college basketball coach, arguably top 5 all time. It's hard for me to make that argument given that he hasn't won a championship there, but he's probably the best college basketball coach that has never won the national championship.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So yeah, no, the U.S. coaching staff In terms of credentials, is very good. In terms of how they're actually coaching this team, is okay.
Yeah.
Brackets also set, I believe, in hockey, unless I'm mistaken, on one of the sides, either the men or the women. You're gonna have to give me just a sec here. Yeah, brackets set, and the men's side, I've got Germany, Argentina, India, Great Britain, and then the other side is Netherlands, Australia, and then Belgium, Spain. And then on the women's side, we do have a bracket there too. U.S. did not qualify for the knockout stage here. Quarterfinals are Netherlands, Great Britain, Argentina, Germany, and then Belgium, Spain, Australia, China. So actually, pretty similar matchups.
As it similar as in how?
The teams that are facing off against each other are pretty much the same on the men's and women's side.
Oh, funny.
Let's see. Volleyball. We should have a bracket on the on the men's side we do. On the women's side we won't quite yet, but on the men's side, it's the U.S. will play Brazil in the first round, and then it'll be Slovenia, Poland, France, Germany, and Italy, Japan, and then finally water polo. We're nearing the end of that, not quite there yet. So we don't quite have brackets there yet, but the U.S. men get another win, definitely looking more and more likely that they will be into the into the knockout stage. So they've got the top 4 teams in their group. U.S. currently ranked as the 4th team in that group, but guaranteed themselves a spot there with the way that they've been playing. So they're moving on. And we're moving on from that to, I think we just have one thing left to talk about today, and that is golf.
Oh, okay.
The final round of golf will be played tomorrow of men's golf. A medal will be handed out. We've got a tie for the lead at the moment at 14 under par. This course is playing very, very, very much under par. The top 43 players are all under par on this course, and that's out of just a total of 60, including, again, somebody that is, or 2 people that are 14 under in John Rahm of Spain and Xander Schauffele of the U.S., but Tommy Fleetwood of Great Britain just 1 stroke back. Even someone like Scotty Scheffler, I mean, he's 4 strokes back, but we know how well he can play. It's not impossible that he makes that up, and at least finds his way onto the podium. He needs to make up 3 strokes to put himself there. So looking good for the U.S. in golf, but they've still got to go out there, have good rounds tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, Zach, unless you have anything else to add, we'll be back here tomorrow.
Yeah. Nothing really except what I normally say, which is just make sure to tune in tomorrow and
we've been on here for 58 minutes and 52 seconds. We're going to try to get off by the hour mark really quickly. So here we go. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. We have more events, 20 more medals and events in swimming, final day of swimming, water polo, archery, track and field, badminton, basketball, 3v3 basketball, boxing, canoeing, cycling, equestrian, fencing, field hockey, golf, gymnastics, handball, sailing, shooting, table tennis, volleyball, and beach volleyball. Join us for all of that with cctalks.com and find out more about us, cctalks.com/Discord, to join our Discord page, at CC Talks Podcast on Twitter, at CC Talks Charlie. For Charlie, you can listen to our episodes right here on the C&C Talks YouTube channel, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else to listen to podcasts. Again, that's now 11 live streams down, 8 more to go as we get into the final 8 days of these Olympics. We'll see you back here tomorrow for our entire team, Zach, Charlie, and Morris. I'm Colin, and we just hit an hour on the spot.